this is one of the final battles and one of the main battles in the Blood and Wine expansion of Witcher 3. Geralt's just there, and in the distance you have Rages fighting Dettlaff. So, my strategy for the battle is as follows. I am going to use Ami, the silver sword. That's mostly because Erendite isn't fully charged, and as you can see, my weight is only 21 kilos. I have dropped everything that I don't need. The reason for that is that I've taken a few decoctions. So the Arrakis decoction, which means that the damage that I receive will be directly proportional to the weight I am and the weight of my armour, so the lower the better. And actually that means that I can take a hit from the bats full on and not die in the second phase of the fight. And then the Ancient Leshen decoction, so that one means that the more signs I cast, the quicker my stamina will regenerate throughout the rest of the battle, and that lasts for all 3 phases. And then the Echidna decoction, which means that anything I do that consumes stamina, so signs, rolling, which is why there's a lot of rolling in the fight, will increase my vitality. I'm going to pop some vampire oil, in this case superior vampire oil, on my sword, and I am going to just quickly show you my character. Very much a mage build, but I've gone for toxic blood, which means that any pain to me will cause damage to my opponent, and also so that I can have more potions on board. I've got those 2 alchemy choices as well. So you start the battle by just having a wander in, and it's quite a sad backstory really. So anyone who's read the books will know that Rages and Geralt are together in a fight more or less to the very end when they're trying to rescue Ciri, and Rages dies. So Dettlaff manages to bring Rages back to life, in the games only, and Dettlaff, as far as I know, doesn't exist in the books. So they have history, and Rages isn't ready to let Geralt kill Dettlaff, but as a result he ends up in the wall with some stuff all over him. Actually, for a vampire it takes him a really long time to get out of the wall, but never mind about that. Okay, so fight strategy then. Lots of rolling, lots of signs to regenerate stamina. I tend to use Quen mostly. Quen is probably my favourite sign. I like Iden as well actually, though not for this fight so much. So the reason for the messing around is really so that I can spend enough in this phase of the fight regenerating stamina. That's the only reason for it. And I just try and avoid Dettlaff. The main rationale isn't that he's going to hurt me too much with this setup, it's because if he does hurt me too much, we'll move on to phase 2 of the fight too soon. Oh, with all the potions on board, good idea to keep food on board as well. And you'll see that whenever I stand still, I actually regenerate stamina really quickly. So, it's great to go into the second phase of the fight with a full potential if you can. And when I'm ready to go to the second phase, which is going to be really soon actually, the next injury to Dettlaff, I think we'll probably move us there. So I'm going to try and regenerate some vitality by casting some more signs. And Dettlaff being a vampire, not massively keen on fire, so the blast of Igni for him is enough to go through to the next phase of the fight. Now, this next phase is probably one of the toughest bits in the game, and it's not necessarily the individual bits of the fight, it is the bats. So, my best strategy is a dose of ard. And then with respect to the bats, which are coming now, run away. The direction of the bats is pretty much set in stone by the time Dettlaff is in the sky, so you can avoid him. Okay, well-timed card again. You can get in some really good hits to Dettlaff. And actually, we're through to the third phase of the fight already. We've avoided the bats, we've hit Dettlaff with hard, and just got in a few quick hits. And now he's that's really ew. Anyway, to phase 3 of the fight. And I think this is happening in Geralt's mind rather than in reality. We have a sort of shiny, bloody version of Dettlaff and a rather unreal setting. Looks very much like the human body. Well, it doesn't actually look like the human body, but it looks like something that could be in the human body. And there are these 3 parts connected by vessels to Dettlaff. So, simple strategy for this one really, which is destroy, I will call them hearts for simplicity, destroy the 3 hearts and you destroy Dettlaff nearly. You'll see that because of all the slime regeneration in the first part of the battle, I can have penalties to a time, which means that Dettlaff can come in. It doesn't really make a lot of difference. If you look up on the mini-map as well, you can see the location of the 3 hearts. So that's 1 down. Dettlaff's overall vitality is declining. Bit of one direction there. So we've nearly destroyed all 3 of those. That will do it. So Geralt's funny imagination fight with Dettlaff over. And there Dettlaff is. And that's enough to slice him in half. Delightful. And he doesn't look very well, but only another higher vampire can kill a higher vampire. So really, Geralt can try, but he's not going to be successful. Now, I don't really understand why Rageous is still buried under all the rocks, but he is, probably makes for a better story playing out, and we feel perhaps more sympathy for Rageous than we do for Dettlaff. Anyway, Dettlaff is neatly regenerating in the middle of Teshem Mitna. And let's see what happens. Could do with a manicure.
Leave him to me. Be gone.
I can't let...
I insist.
This next scene is interesting for many reasons. Rageous's behaviour is one of them. He is not a drinker because he doesn't want to lose control and drink any blood. So the fact that he does end up with a bit of a vampiric bite to his friend is, well, it's unusual behaviour. Perhaps it's the only way he can help him. And then as he dies, he turns back into his human form. And that is the fight. So use a bit of help for it. in the way of potions, but completely doable.